Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet a wrist bag. Now, let's discuss the materials you'll need for this pattern. For this pattern, I'm using the following materials. I've chosen chenille yarn to crochet this pattern, and it's in an iridescent color which gives a really beautiful look. When it comes to the crochet hook, I'm going with a 4mm one. Besides that, I also need a darning needle and some stitch markers. If you're interested in getting a kit that includes all the exact materials I'm using in this video, I've provided a link in the description below. We will offer 4 colors for you to choose from. In this pattern, we'll only be using single crochet. We do single crochet throughout the whole process, so it's extremely easy to learn, even for beginners. I'm going to start with the slip knot. Now I'm going to show you how to grasp the yarn and hold the crochet hook in the other hand as if it were a knife, or hold it like a pen. Insert the crochet hook into the loop of the slip knot and pull the tail end tight so that it fits snugly around the crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around the pinky finger and index finger and hold the slip knot with the middle finger and thumb. Grasp the working yarn and then draw it through the loop on the hook. And we've completed our first chain stitch. Let's attach the stitch marker to the first stitch. Yarn over and then draw the working yarn through the loop on the hook. And this is our second chain stitch. We need to make a total of 57 chain stitches. If you've forgotten how many chain stitches you've made, you can count them. Now we have completed 57 chain stitches. I'm going to make a single crochet in the second chain from the crochet hook. Insert the hook into the chain stitch Then yarn over and pull the working yarn through the stitch. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over once more and pull the yarn through all the loops on the hook. Let's attach the stitch marker to the first stitch. Place the stitch marker on the V-shaped stitch as illustrated. Then pick up the next chain stitch. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch, yarn over again, and finally pull the yarn through all the loops on the hook. Then pick up the next chain stitch. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch, yarn over again, and finally pull the yarn through all the loops on the hook. Now repeat the same process to make 56 single crochets, with 1 in each chain. You can adjust the tightness of the yarn during crocheting. Keep in mind not to make it too tight, otherwise it will be hard to crochet. Remove the stitch marker to complete the last single crochet. Now there are 56 stitches in total. We're going to turn our piece of work. This yarn is in the way. You can wind it around to the back. Grasp the working yarn and then draw it through the loop on the hook. After creating this chain stitch, we will make 56 single crochets only through the back loop, one in each stitch. As we can see the V-shaped stitch, we will only pick up the back loop to make the single crochet stitch. Insert the hook to pick up only the back loop. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop. Then yarn over again and pull the yarn through the two loops on the hook. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. For the next stitch, follow the same process. Insert into the back loop, yarn over, pull the yarn through the loop. Sometimes you can adjust the tightness of the yarn while crocheting. Yarn over again, and then pull the yarn through all the loops on the hook. Now just repeat the same process until the end. Make single crochets only through the back loop. So this is the last stitch of round 2, and we have 56 stitches in total. We're going to turn our piece of work. This yarn is in the way. You can wind it around to the back. And we make a chain stitch. Grasp the working yarn and then draw it through the loop on the hook. After creating this chain stitch, we will make 56 single crochets only through the back loop, 1 in each stitch. As we can see the V-shaped stitch, we will only pick up the back loop to make the single crochet stitch. Insert the hook to pick up only the back loop. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. For round 3, we do the same as round 2, so I'll speed up. This is the last stitch of round 3. We have 56 stitches total. We're going to turn our piece of work. And we make a chain stitch. For rounds 4 to 13, we make 38 single crochets only through the back loop, 1 in each stitch. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. Since we're using the fluffy yarn for crocheting, it's a little hard to see the stitches. Now there are 38 stitches in round 4. We follow the same process from round 4 to round 13, so I'll speed up. Turn the piece and chain 1. We make 38 single crochets only through the back loop. I'm going to skip to the end of round 13. So we're about to run out of the yarn. Here's how to attach a new ball of yarn. Take out the new ball of yarn. Wrap it around the little finger and index finger, and then hold the end with the middle finger and thumb. Attach the end to the work and hold them together with the middle finger and thumb. Then pull the old yarn to adjust the tightness. Then insert the hook into the back loop. Put the old yarn onto the hook. Hook the new working yarn. Pull it through the back loop. Yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. Now there are 2 yarn tails we can see. And we continue with the single crochet. Insert into the back loop, bring the 2 yarn tails up to the hook. Yarn over, pull through, then yarn over again and pull through all the loops on the hook. And we continue with the single crochet. Insert into the back loop, bring the 2 yarn tails up to the hook. Yarn over, pull through, then yarn over again and pull through all the loops on the hook. And repeat until the yarn tails are hidden among the stitches. Now we have the tail ends completely concealed into the stitches, and we continue with the crochet. Whenever you set your piece of work aside, you can resume it as I do. Let me show you the way. Hold the crochet hook with one hand and grasp one side of the piece at the same time. With the other hand, let the working yarn wind around the pinky finger and index finger, and then hold the piece with the middle finger and thumb. Then continue crocheting. Here we are at the end of round 13. There are 4 single crochets remaining, and I'll keep going. So this is what it looks like after completing 13 rounds of crochet. I'm going to count the number of rounds. As you can see, this line represents 1 round, and we have 13 rounds in total. Now, we're about to start crocheting round 14. To begin with, turn the piece of work over. Place the working yarn at the back of the piece. Then, work 38 single crochets, but make sure to only go through the back loop of each stitch. There should be 1 single crochet in each relevant loop. Since we are doing single crochet identically throughout, I'll speed things up. Now that we've completed 38 single crochets, we're going to make 29 chains next. Yarn over and pull the working yarn through the loop on the hook. Repeat this process until 29 chains have been made. Yarn over and pull the working yarn through the loop on the hook. And thus we have completed the crocheting of round 14. The loop remaining on the hook is not counted as one of the chains. For round 15, I'll make 28 single crochets starting from the second chain from the hook. Subsequently, we'll do 38 single crochets through the back loop only of the previous round. It's somewhat difficult to identify the texture of the stitch due to the fluffy yarn. Let's figure out where we should insert our hook. Now we can see the V-shaped stitches one after another. Let's begin our crocheting from the second chain away from the hook. Insert the hook into the chain stitch. Yarn over, pull the yarn through, then yarn over once more and pull the yarn through all the loops on the hook. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. This is the chain stitch into which we just made our single crochet. And we're going to make the next single crochet in the next chain. Since we are doing single crochet identically throughout, I'll speed things up. Now we've finished 28 single crochets on the chain stitches. Next we'll make 38 single crochets one by one only through the back loop of the stitches. Insert the hook to pick up only the back loop, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop, then yarn over again and pull the yarn through the two loops on the hook. Now just repeat the same process until the end. Make single crochets only through the back loop. Round 15 has been completed and there are 66 stitches in total. Chain 1, then turn the work. Place the working yarn at the back of the piece, hold the yarn with the left hand, and continue crocheting for round 16. Insert the hook to pick up only the back loop. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. Just make single crochets through the back loop until you reach the end. There are 66 single crochets in total. Round 17 is identical to round 16, so I'll skip ahead to the end of round 17. Now we're at the end of round 17. Let me complete the remaining single crochets. This is what it looks like after the crochet process is completed. I'm going to fold the piece and sew it together. Let's figure out which side is the outside and which is the inside. As we can see, there are some tail ends on this side, so I've decided this is the inside.